Yo, what's good, y'all? So today we're here to talk about and break down how to become a better shooter. Let's dive into it. I have 4 tips when it comes to becoming a better shooter, right? There are many different ways that I'm sure someone can sit down and talk to you about becoming a better shooter, but here are my 4 tips about how to become a better shooter. My first tip is moving the ball before your body. By moving the ball first, you're allowing yourself to use the energy you just created in a much more efficient way. With your knees bent and your hips low and the ball moving first, everything now can stay connected through your shot. If everything were to come up together at the same time, the ball has a longer path to take before being released versus your knees and hips unlocking to jump into the shot. Now everything can open up together and you can use all the energy that you've created through jumping. All that goes into the ball because it's being released at the same time. My second point is shot path. This is probably one of the biggest tips when it comes to becoming a better shooter. You have to shoot the ball straight. If you shoot left or right, you give yourself no chance of making versus shooting the ball straight. Your target is right in front of you. There are good and there are bad misses. Missing the ball left or right, that is a bad miss because that has no chance of going in. If you shoot the ball straight and you shoot it short or long, that's a good miss because now you're giving yourself a higher chance of making it. In the second tip of shot path, it starts where you place the ball first. You can be what I call a midline shooter or off the hip shooter. Right? If you're right-handed, the ball starts on your right hip and then it flows to the right side of your forehead, or you can be a midline shooter where it starts at your belly button and then it flows to the middle of your forehead. Whichever one you choose, it doesn't matter as long as it's comfortable. I know there are some shooters who like to swing the ball opposite of their bodies. That's hard to replicate, right? And one of the main things everyone says to become a better shooter is you have to have an easily repeatable shot. Moving the ball from right to left or left to right is an added variable we want to be able to take out. You can make shooting the ball straight easier by repeating the same path every single time. So an easy way to shoot straight is to make sure you have a straight shot path, going from your right hip to the right side of your forehead, or midline from your belly button to the middle of your forehead, and then straight up. This will ensure that your shot goes straight towards the rim. Now my third tip blends in with my second tip, but it's having a loaded wrist. With this loaded wrist, when you move the ball to your set point, this ensures that your hand goes underneath the ball. This is another huge point when it comes to shooting that all shooters need to have is their hand underneath the ball. With our hand underneath the ball, we are now able to push the ball straight up into the air, giving it the arc that we need. Having high arc on our shot is extremely important. 2 basketballs can fit in the rim at the same time. So if we're able to hit the correct spot every single time above the rim, this ensures a higher chance of having that ball go in. The biggest part of the rim is directly in the middle. So if you can hit the middle spot every single time, this allows you more room for error on your shot. We talked previously about shooting left or right. Now if your ball is coming down high enough from the correct height, even if it's a little more to the left or to the right, you have a higher chance of that ball going straight through the rim rather than shooting it flat and barely getting over the top of the rim. If that thing is left or right, now you just reduce your chance of making that shot even more. So if you can load your wrist early, have a straight shot path, and move that ball before your body, you are giving yourself higher chances of making that shot every single time. And each one of these steps is easily repeatable. These are small tips that you can do to ensure your shot goes in every single time. My fourth tip is to have the ball come off your fingertips last. We want the ball to come off our fingertips last because this gives us more control over the ball. Now before we go to shoot, we want to make sure our fingers are spread and we have full coverage over the ball. And when it comes off our hand, we want to make sure it comes off our index finger or both our index and middle fingers at the same time. By having it come off our index finger or middle and index finger at the same time, this ensures that we can shoot the ball straight if we follow through at the rim. With it coming off our fingertips, we have more control over the ball versus coming off our palm where we have less control. When shooting, we want a repeatable shot. We want to be able to repeat the same thing over and over again in our repetitions. And the easiest way to have a repeatable shot is to take out and remove extra variables that we do not need. So my advice to you guys is to record yourself shooting. Watch yourself from start to finish. See if you have added variables within your shot that you can remove. Shooting isn't a one-size-fits-all glove, right? Different people feel comfortable doing different things. Shooting is about comfortability. If you feel comfortable doing something, now you need to repeat that as many times as you can. These tips are here to help you become an efficient shooter. Remember, two of the most important things is to shoot the ball straight and to shoot the ball high. Anything else after that becomes something that you need to play around with and to make sure it fits you. So remember, ball before body, shot path, loaded wrists, and use your fingertips.